Ecclesiasticus chapter 48, or Sirach chapter 48. Now this chapter again has to do with some of the holy patriarchs, but some of the names are changed for some reason. I don't know why that is. Like in the Apocrypha, they use Elias as Elijah, and instead of Eliseus, I'm gonna use Elisha. So chapter 48. Then stood up Elijah, the prophet as fire, and his word burned like a lamp. He brought a sore famine upon them, and by his zeal he diminished their number. By the word of I am, he shut up the heaven, and also 3 times brought down fire. O Elijah, how wast thou honored in thy wondrous deeds? And who may glory like unto thee? Who didst raise up a dead man from death, and his soul from the place of the dead, by the word of the Most High, who brought his kings to destruction, and honorable men from their bed? Who heardest the rebuke of I am in Sinai, and in Horeb the judgment of vengeance? Who anointest kings to take vengeance, and prophets to succeed after them? Who was taken up in a whirlwind of fire, and in a chariot of fiery horses? Have to repeat that. That's a beautiful and mighty verse. Who was taken up in a whirlwind of fire, and in a chariot of fiery horses? Who was ordained for reproofs in their times, to pacify the wrath of I am's judgment before it break forth into fury, and to turn the heart of the father unto the son, and to restore the tribes of Jacob? Blessed are they that saw thee and slept in love, for we shall surely live. Elijah it was, who was covered with a whirlwind, and Elisha was filled with his spirit. Whilst he lived, he was not moved with the presence of any prince, neither could any bring him into subjection. No word could overcome him, and after his death his body prophesied. He did wonders in his life, and at his death were his works marvelous. For all the people repented not, neither departed they from their sins, till they were spoiled and carried out of their land, and were scattered through all the earth. Yet there remained a small people, and a ruler in the house of David, of whom some did that which was pleasing to I am, and some multiplied sins. Now here's another word in verse 17, Ezekias, but I'm thinking they're talking about Hezekiah. So I'm just going to use Ezekias though, but just know that it might be talking about Hezekiah of the Bible. Ezekias fortified his city and brought in water into the midst thereof. He digged the hard rock with iron and made wells for waters. In his time, Sennacherib came up and sent Rabshakes, and lifted up his hand against Zion, and boasted proudly. Then trembled their hearts and hands, and they were in pain as a woman in travail. But they called upon I am, which is merciful, and stretched out their hands towards him. And immediately the Holy One heard them out of heaven, and delivered them by the ministry of Esai. He smote the hosts of the Assyrians, and his angel destroyed them. For Ezekias had done the thing that pleased I am, and was strong in the ways of David his father, as Esai the prophet, who was great and faithful in his vision, had commanded him. In his time the sun went backwards, and he lengthened the king's life. He saw by an excellent spirit what should come to pass at the last, and he comforted them that mourned in Zion. He showed what would come pass forever, and secret things of ever they came. All praise to the power of the Son of Man, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Father I am that I am. This was yet another chapter of some of the holy patriarchs mentioned in the Bible, but you got to understand that some of the names in the Bible are translated differently in the Apocrypha. So I tried my best to try to keep up with those translations, but it's kind of hard though. All praise, shalom.